That's the right. Oh. Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, she did.
Not sure that I want them to say it, you know. They say they didn't know.
Well, when they came back, they could have turned around and walked in.
Does Woods not welcome from the house?
Wherever they were yesterday, I don't know.
Why was you email them? Okay.
Hey, Mom.
Patrick was trying to something just to calm you down.
Okay. This particular moment, okay. 5 minutes from now?
That's all.
Doing the best I can.
That's all you can do. That's what you
Yeah. Mom, Johnny.
I think it's twice.
She's still here, Mom.
Whatever you want.
Everybody got tested in your family, and everybody's negative.
Yes.
Asheville, Asheville up here, James Lynn.
Okay.
And Roberta,
Why would they walk in knowing? They didn't have such a good facility out there. Yes. But you Somebody, the Easter Bunny. So. And my mother, yes, was that an anniversary party? And the one with Johnny and Sue. Johnny and Sue. That's when he was Sue's name during his toast speech.
He had a dead battery.
Who?
Michael and Vivian.
And we went to leave this morning from Brooklyn. I heard it. Just like.
And you.
Nobody should lose a daughter. Nobody.
Wow.
We're still a little.
Are we early?
We got like half an hour. That's Susan sending a message to the guy in charge. For the annual survey. Takes 5-7 days. They say they didn't know, and they wouldn't use it.
Text out.
They say they'll be out of their way, maybe they'll be at lecture 12, but they don't have it. They didn't come in 2020, so it gets on Monday. This is like, they freeze the temperature, eat some food, food. We're talking about the next part. This is the annual.
Oh, well. I just wasn't at according to be. I also right while we were in Vegas, and we're looking at congregations in Los Angeles that died in Phoenix.
Is it really?
See what comes.
Even ones who talk to you,
That'll be okay. Oh, no.
honestly,
That'll be all right.
you know that, I don't care what time it is.
Whatever. Oh, because I'm reading a different one? Okay. Great. So that yeah, because sensation. Then I'll see the title of your episode 23. It's on the sign, it's an obligation to talk like great English. Okay.
Right. What do you use? Yeah, it's about what you use.
They say they didn't know. They said no. They did it. They said they asked.
No, we're home. I'm home all the time. I'm working now. It's a story for another time. But anytime, just honestly.
No, that's why we went to Columbus. That's why we went to Columbus for the game.
Thought it would be Imperial. It's not.
I don't think, quite frankly, I don't think it's a good idea for everybody to sit this, put them in the audience at that minute. And it's up to you guys. I think it's gonna be good.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we begin our service, if you can please kindly turn off all cell phones or electronic devices, or please place them on silent. For those who will be speaking during the service, please give Rabbi enough time to step down from the podium safely before you come up to the microphone so we don't cross each other's paths. And also be sure to project and speak directly into the microphone, because we will be talking through masks, and even though there is a microphone, we want to make sure everyone who is watching on the live stream will be able to hear everything being said about Susan.
Revaya
Yeshavti bebeit Adonai leorech yamim.
A Psalm of David. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He guides me in straight paths for the sake of his name. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou hast anointed my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
For centuries, at times of sorrow and sadness and loss, our people have turned to the book of Psalms for comfort. Among those Psalms that we recite most frequently is Psalm 121, which begins with a question. Shir Malot. Esa enai el haharim, me'ayin yavo ezri. I lift my eyes to the mountains. What is the source of my help? The rest of the psalm, as if the very act of lifting the head up and looking outward brings comfort, the rest of the psalm provides an answer. The source of my help is the Lord, creator of heaven and earth. He will not let you falter. Your guardian does not slumber. Surely the guardian of Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps. He is at your right hand to protect you. The Lord your keeper will give shelter. The sun will not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord will guard you from all harm. The Lord will preserve your soul. He will guard your going and coming from this time forth and forever.
Thank you, old friend. Rabbi Lindemann, I know it means a lot to David and the rest of the family to have you here to give support. Judy, as I look at you with my spiritual eyes, I see Don standing right next to you. He's got one arm around you and one arm around Susan, giving you strength and giving her comfort. Good people, it is with heavy hearts that we come together today in stunned disbelief to pay tribute to the memory of Susan Love. Ask anyone you know, anyone who knew her, and they'll all tell you pretty much the same thing. Susan was a woman who made everyone around her better. friends, family, residents, employees, they all say the same thing. She had this unique ability to put the focus on you, to listen and understand, and then in her own unassuming way to give you guidance, and you knew that it was the right thing. Confident, competent, kind. Your mother really cared. She was wholeheartedly dedicated to enriching the lives of everyone. She gave far more to this world than she ever took, and she gave far too much to this world to be taken so soon. Susan was, as well we all know, blessed to have found her true calling as the CEO of Lionsgate, touching more lives than any of us will ever know. In fact, she was so good at it that the residents themselves were the ones who recommended her for the job. But the more I reflect on the trajectory of Susan's life, and I feel privileged to have called her my friend, the more that I think about the trajectory of your sister's life, the more I understand how her position as the head of Lionsgate was just the culmination of her life experience that led her to that leadership role. You see, Susan wanted everyone to have that same sense of family that she herself enjoyed. Like her father of blessed memory. She was just one of those folks you knew you could lean on, wherever and whenever. And that whatever she said or she did was always in your best interest and came from her heart. Her wisdom, her outlook on life, was a clear reflection of the way that she was raised, Judy. Judy, you and Dad, Kinahara had 3 girls over the span of 4 years, 300 diapers at a time. And you made sure that they were always there for one another, your girls, as you were for them. Sylvia, really from day one, you took on that role of motherhead, and I didn't know you as a little kid, but I can well imagine what that looked like. And the 2 of you shared a room growing up. It wasn't until 13 that Sylvia knew she could have a room of her own. But that bonded the 2 of you at the deepest level. And over the past couple of days, you've still been that motherhead. Still taking charge. Loving your sister at the deepest level forever. When the 2 of you were married, Michael, Susan got a big brother, someone who she knew had her back all the time, unstintingly, and into how special the love you shared was. And Bert, I know how much you treasured your time with your big sister, and I just got a kick out of thinking of the 2 of you in your pajamas watching cartoons on Saturday morning, or riding around the neighborhood, or playing ball outside. I know that you'll both speak from your hearts in just a moment. But you 3 girls are so close to one another, and I think, Judy, that's what you and Don had in mind. When you had 3 kids that close together, you hope and pray that they'll have the kind of relationship that your daughters always had. They stayed close and will for the rest of their lives. There for each other, as always. Family-oriented, it made sense that Susan would want one of her own. And Michael, you and Susan were blessed with the most wonderful, attentive daughter in Ashley. Bert told me the story of how Ashley was almost born in the car as you were driving. But you made it in time. And when Ashley was born, she was handed over to you, Judy. Michael, you and Susan poured all of your love into your beautiful daughter. She always made you proud. And Ashley, you were the apple of your mother's eye. And the older you got, the more you matured, the more you understood just how amazing your mom was. And you'll speak as only you can in just a moment, but I also enjoyed the tales of adventure that you shared with me about your mom, how she wanted to instill a love of culture in you, and I'm sure that she did, but every time it seemed that you were going for a museum, you ended up going shopping instead. I don't know how that was. but you shared a lot of fun and a lot of laughter. And your mother took such great pride in your accomplishments. And as I'm getting to know you better as an adult, I understand just how much your mother modeled for you what it means to be a strong and independent woman. And Jared, I know that it quickly became obvious to you how much Ashley is like her mom. Like your grandfather, Ashley, Valentine's Day was always a special one for you. And because you and your mom share a heart. You were an only child, but you have Abby and Becca, and we know from you as sisters. And you know, and I know, that they loved and looked up to your mom as a role model in their lives as well, and we'll hear about that in a moment. I mentioned earlier how Susan had this unique ability to bring out the best in others and to make them into better people, and David, that was the very first thing you said when I asked you about Susan, but frankly I didn't need to ask because I've known you a long time. And you indeed grew through her love. You were simply better together. The closeness that the two of you shared, the fun, that togetherness, brought a level of satisfaction and joy into Susan's life that spilled over into every aspect of her life, both personal and professional. And because of what the two of you shared, she was more effective in her job and overall so much happier in life. And you got to travel, you enjoyed concerts and boating and even little things like watching Jeopardy. It made you so happy because you were together, and Susan warmly welcomed you, drew into her home and into her heart. And yes, she certainly brought you back to health when you were ill, but you gave Susan David your all every day. And through that love, you both discovered new aspects of your lives. I'm going to soon step aside and let the family speak, but before I do, I just wanted to mention Susan's world and her work at Lionsgate. And Allison will mention it again later on, and I do so not only to celebrate her many accomplishments, which were astounding, but to bring comfort, not just to you, her family, but all of the residents and all the staff and all the countless volunteers who mourn her loss, who worked with her to make Lionsgate great. Susan treated everyone with respect, and she touched all of your lives, and I know so many of you are watching this today. And I know from personal experience that your sister's door was never closed, because it seemed like every time I went by, I was able to distract her from whatever she was doing, and it was like she was just waiting for me to walk into the room and attentive to whatever was on my mind. And the truth is that she was never too busy. But that's not entirely the truth, because she was often too busy. In fact, she was so busy that sometimes she just had to sleep at the office. And many were the time when you had to double back from a day away to get back to Lionsgate, because there was some inspection that was going to be happening, or there was some problem with a staff member, or some resident who needed her. Nothing was too small. That was her top priority. The buck always stopped with Susan. You can't say that about everybody, but I can say that with confidence, Judy, about your daughter. You taught her what it means to take responsibility and to be a leader. She took pride in helping Lionsgate get its 5-star rating. Communal service and doing for others, Judy, is your top priority. And Susan modeled that, and she learned it from her dad, and she lived it every day. And I know that your heart is broken. I know. But you can see reflected in the eyes of the people here, and more importantly, in the eyes of all of these people who are watching us, but you can't see right now, the admiration that they had for your daughter. Not just because she worked hard, but because of the principles that guided her life, that reflected the finest standards of her parents. She was a living tribute to your love. And Sylvia Birch, you were with your sister every step of the way. And I know that you'll be there to support your mom and Ashley in the days ahead. And that will bring healing to your hearts and to yours too, David. Dear Ashley, I know that you pray for your mother every day. It made me proud as the rabbi from your bat mitzvah that you knew the Mishaberach. You pronounced the word properly. You say the prayer, and you said it with your mom every day without fail. And I know that you feel like God has let you down. I do too. But I know that God gave you the blessing of having an amazing mom, made you into the woman you are today. And like your Aunt Sylvia said, I believe with my whole heart that your mom and your papa are together in Olam Haba. And Judy, you can't see them today because of this horrible plague, but there are hundreds and hundreds of people who are looking at us right now, renewing their dedication, not just to Susan's memory, but to you and to your family and all of the lives you've touched. And I hope that you can feel that love right now. Her name was most fitting, for Susan's heart was indeed full of love. Fate has taken her physical presence from your lives, but nothing will ever take that love from your heart. So live fully and love deeply, and you will forever be guided by the beautiful spirit of one amazing woman, Susan Love. Tehei Nishmat Tad Shra B'Tzura Chaim, may the soul of Shoshana Bat Daniel the Yehudi to be bound in the bond of eternal life, and her memory be a blessing in the hearts and homes of all who knew and loved her forever. And together we say, Amen. And we have the privilege of hearing from her family here. And Ashley, I think you're going to lead us off according to my list, so I'll switch places. You come up and I'll go down.
Mommy, I don't know where to start. Do I start with your work ethic, your kindness you show to everyone, your compassion and empathy you show towards others? Do I start with the lives you have changed or the whole community that you have impacted in a positive way? Do I start with how incredible of a mom you were? I never in a million years imagined myself standing here today. I sit here typing and it feels like I'm in some alternate universe. And I don't like this alternate universe I'm living in. I'm still waiting to wake up from this dream, this bad dream where you're not in it. I'm not going to stand here and talk about how much of a difference you made at Lionsgate, because we all know that here. We all know how incredible you were at your job, working endless hours to improve the lives of others and putting everyone else before yourself. But the qualities you showed during your career at Lionsgate and as CEO, you didn't just show there. You showed them every day in every situation. I stand here in front of you all today wearing this necklace I got for my mom on a trip to Israel. On it, it reads, "She believed she could, so she did." This is one of my favorite quotes, and it is all because it describes my mommy. Mom, you believed in yourself, and that is the one of many favorite things about you. You always believed in yourself to be able to contribute to making this world a better place. And even though your life was cut way too short, you accomplished that and beyond. I remember when I was in middle school and made you brownies. However, the little devil child that I was put Simba's dog food in these brownies. I thought I was such a funny child as you sat there eating the whole brownie full of dog food, telling me yum and how great of a baker I am. Even though we all here know how disgusting those brownies probably were, Looking back, I know this represented how much you loved me. You loved me enough to eat dog food for me, just to not hurt my feelings. I am so proud to say I am your daughter, and I am so proud to be loved by you. Whenever I walked through the hall at Lionsgate with you, everyone would ask, "Is this your daughter?" And you always said yes, with the biggest smile on your face. It only took me into college to learn the saying is true. Your mom is always right. Mom, you were right about everything in parenting. When I was sick, you always knew the doctor to call. You knew that boy didn't deserve me. You knew the right things to say. You knew how to give me the comfort I needed. Whenever my mental health wasn't at its best, I knew I could always call you crying and you made it all better. And I know I never admitted it, but I'm here to admit it now. You were right. I shouldn't have taken that many shots at that frat party. My whole entire childhood, well into high school, you would wake me up for school, and my response was always the same: 5 more minutes. Well, Mom, I never knew how ironic that saying would become as I stand here today and say 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes shopping with you. 5 more minutes watching you mess up cooking dinner. 5 more minutes of your unconditional love. 5 more minutes with you. The 51 days you spent in the hospital, I watched your amazing strength. Even when I spoke to the doctor when I had to say goodbye, the doctor said to me, your mom was a fighter and she fought until the very end. However, you had showed me strength every single day in your life. Everyone who knew you as strong. You were a warrior, and no obstacle would ever get in your way. You were so much like Papa. You were funny. You spent all your time giving to others. You were beyond intelligent. You loved to spend time golfing and reading. And even though it hurts so bad right now, I know you will be happy with Papa. And I hope heaven has a bouquet for you. You may not physically be here, but I know you will visit me every day. I know you will watch over me as I continue to grow. I know you will be there at my wedding day, when I have babies, and all other milestones of my life. I know I will raise my kids and teach them all a day about their mom. I know I will continue to make you so proud. You took on so many different roles in your life. A role in a family, a role in business, a role in feminism, a role in changing lives at Lionsgate, and a role of inspiration to everyone who knew you. And how it feels so unreal to be standing here today. It gives me comfort knowing that your favorite role of all was being my mommy. I said it before and I'll say it again. I am so proud to be your daughter. I will never stop missing you and I will love you forever. You're my heart and soul. Love, your Ashpoo.
Sisters make the best friends in the world. It's a quote by Marilyn Monroe. I find this quote to be undoubtedly true. A sister is a person who's been where you've been, someone you can call when things aren't going right. More than just family, a sister is a forever friend. Susan, I was blessed and honored to call you my sister, yet my best friend. You were my sounding board, confidant, and keeper of secrets. I will continue to cherish the unspoken memories that you and I have shared from childhood to now. Your dedication to work and warmth towards others is something I have always admired. However, what many people might not know is that you are a true prankster with an incredible silly side that makes everyone laugh. I am beyond grateful I was able to share that side of you and so many laughs together. Within our family, you and Daddy have so many similar characteristics, from your creativity to your lack of patience in restaurants. I truly believe in my heart that you and Daddy being together will give me some peace and all of us some peace, that you will be looking after us. I love you with all my heart, Susan Gale Love.
Dear Susan, I honestly don't know what to say. My heart is truly broken. I don't know how I can do this again, as I was just doing this 2 months ago for Daddy. I know you fought so hard to beat this, and I'm so proud of you. I truly lost one of my best friends. You were such a good soul and would do anything for anyone. This is just not fair that this happened to you. You were the hardest working person at Lionsgate and for our community and of course our family. I was always so jealous of you. Everywhere I went, people would come up to me and tell me how wonderful you are and what a great person you were. You were so smart, although you absolutely had no common sense. Just thinking about some of the stuff that you have said over the years just makes me laugh. For example, when you thought the phrase goody two-shoes was goody tissues, or you believed everything that somebody told you. You were so gullible, but in a good way. A lot of you already know this story, but when I had my bachelorette party at Susan's house, she offered to make the onion dip. It was very watery, and we asked her, how did you make it? And she says, I cooked the soup. Well, right there, we all were shocked. What do you mean you cooked the soup? And then she says, it was so watery, so I just kept adding sour cream, but it was still watery. So this day, we have always teased her. She was so much fun to tease all the time because she literally believed everything you told her. I always came to you when I needed advice, and you would always listen to me and hug me and tell me everything was going to be okay. You and I have been through so much together, but you always had a common sense about you that I knew everything was going to be okay. Everybody I know, when I said I was your sister, was so amazed. You're Susan Love's sister? Wow, she took care of my mother or father, or she would sit and talk to them and make them happier and feel so warm. You were a great listener. You weren't always the most communicative. I know you were very private, but you always knew the right things to say. Susan, I will miss you terribly. You will always be with me forever, wherever I go, and I will laugh because you always made me laugh. Please give Daddy a big hug and take good care of him. Love always, your baby sister.
We feel heartbroken that another integral piece of our family is no longer here, and although we are searching for answers, we are also incredibly grateful for the time we got to spend with our Aunt Sue. We will forever cherish the wonderful moments and laughs that we had together as her nieces. I was always looking up to my Aunt Sue and all of her hard work that she put into everything she did. She motivated me to put in the same effort into my endeavors as she did hers. When I think of my Aunt Sue, I think of a hardworking and genuinely caring woman who did anything for anyone at any time. I'm especially grateful for memories like our times together on the boat, manicure dates, and adventure to the Great Wolf Lodge with my cousins. I will miss hearing you squirm and laugh when Abby and I would tickle and scare you, and I thank you for always supporting me and encouraging me to do my best. I've always looked up to you and bragged to others that you were my aunt. I should also thank you for my extensive shoe collection because only you and I have the same shoe size. So every year I'd get to go shopping in your closet and come out with new shoes. Most of all, I will miss our weekly texts with the purple hearts. But it brings me peace knowing how much love our family shares. And I will continue to work hard and dedicate my time to others with you in my mind every step of the way.
Aunt Sue, how do I even summarize you in a short speech? It feels nearly impossible to be able to attempt to justify just how amazing you were with my words, because you deserve so much more. You were such a role model in my life, and of course always will be, no matter where you are. I basically owe my whole existence to you, actually. If you never forced my mom to go outside and play basketball with your next-door neighbor, who turned out to be my father, who knows where I would be now. Of course, you were known for your professionalism and smarts, but when you and I were together, it was always our goofy sides that came out. I love laughing with you about how loudly you speak on the phone, or getting dramatically nauseous on the bumpy boat rides in the summer. The traditional, possibly uncooked cookies we always made at sleepovers, or complaining about how badly our nail beds suck, that our manicures never lasted. I especially will always be thankful for the quality time we spent together when I would come to Lionsgate after school and hang out with you in your office. You made me feel like royalty whenever I was with you. You always did spoil me. But best of all, you showed me how to be a well-rounded, caring person and to find the fun in everything that I do. We will miss your guidance, support, and your contagious laughter. We treasure such quality memories we have with you and will continue forward with you in our hearts. We feel so honored that we had you as our aunt, and we hope you're enjoying your time golfing with Papa. Get a hole in one. We love you.
Susan and I had a very unique relationship. I wouldn't say it was a typical step-parent-stepchild relationship. In fact, when it was time to meet her for the first time, I wasn't ready to meet the new love in my dad's life. And in fact, I actually spent more time with Bert during that entire time. But Susan didn't let that stop her. She was persistent on wanting to make a connection with me. And over the years, my bond with Susan grew. She always took an interest in the things that I liked, even though I'm pretty sure she had no idea what any of it was. She took interest in my gaming. She took interest in just my online stuff. And she was always the voice of reason between my father and I. Maybe I'm just saying that because it seemed like she always took my side. But when people say she made him a better man, she made us a better family. She was able to touch almost every single person that she came in contact with. Didn't matter if it was a resident, employee, family, friends, or strangers. She left a lasting impression on every single one of them. I am lucky and proud to call her one of my moms.
On behalf of the residents, employees, and Board of Lionsgate and Senior Housing, I want to express our collective deepest sympathies to the loved and father families. We walk beside you in grief, and we offer support and comfort. Thank you, Ashley, for allowing Lionsgate and Senior Housing to be represented here today, because as we all know, Lionsgate is synonymous with Susan Love. Susan was the matriarch of Lionsgate, not merely the CEO, a matriarch, a woman who was the head of or leads a family or tribe. And at Lionsgate, we are both a family and a tribe. She's been there longer than anyone. She knows more than anyone. And she has left an indelible mark in the hearts of everyone. She was the heart and soul of the community. I was fortunate to be on the CEO search committee. And yes, Rabbi, the residents were very vocal in their support of Susan, as was I. And I remember when we appointed her CEO, her enthusiasm, determination, and pure joy at getting to do this job. And she did it with unsurpassed integrity, compassion, and love. Our vision for Lionsgate and Senior Housing came to fruition under Susan's leadership and the team she assembled to support her. The 5-star premier community we dreamt of became a reality because of Susan. Our affordable housing communities are the most desirable because of Susan. The staff respected her personable leadership style, and the residents loved engaging her in conversations in the hallways and all around the campus. She was a hands-on executive. She was unflappable, unless, of course, there was a spider. She listened, and you always felt heard. Susan had an excellent working relationship with the vendors and her professional peers nationwide, as well as being an admired colleague to the other Federation agency CEOs. I would like to share these words from Jen Weiss, CEO of Jewish Federation of Southern New Jersey. Susan was an amazing professional. This may have been the most difficult year for senior housing and trying to keep people safe during COVID. Susan was compassionate, smart, and so hardworking. She touched so many lives. She will be missed by so many and has made our community better and stronger just by being Susan. Thank you, Susan, for sharing yourself so fully with all of us. In her never-ending pursuit for excellence, Susan was a longtime member of Leading Age, her national professional organization. And in 2019, she was appointed to the Board of Trustees of Leading Age New Jersey and Delaware, a very prestigious position in her field. In a letter to their members to inform them of Susan's passing, Colleen Frankenfield, chairman of the board, wrote so beautifully of Susan. She was a fearless and grateful leader. In June of 2020, she wrote a beautiful love letter to her residents, staff, and team members, expressing her gratitude for their unselfish commitment during the pandemic. In her own words, she expressed how overwhelmed her heart was with the many observances and expressions of kindness shown during the pandemic. She urged residents, staff, family, and the general community to celebrate your courageous spirits, your generous hearts, your never-ending creativity, and your unfaltering kindness. We are better together. She longed for the time when the pandemic was over and we could all come together and share a rousing collective cheer of l'chaim. Lastly, I just want to share some thoughts from the woman herself. Lionsgate has put together a list of quotes by Susan Love. And you will imagine her saying them in your head and you can hear it. After Susan's interview with the Jewish Geriatric Home back in 1997, she said, "Honestly, I felt that I didn't do my best with the interview. And as I began to back out of my parking spot, I drove into a yellow pole and damaged my car." To me, this was a sign that I would not get the job. After a week, I received a call and surprisingly was offered the position July 7, 1997 at the Jewish Geriatric Home in Cherry Hill as the Director of Human Resources. After reflecting back on her 23-year career, Susan said, "I am humbled and privileged to know that I get to come to work day in and day out with the opportunity to make a difference in people's lives. However, what I realized over the years is that everyone has truly made a difference in my life. For this, I will always be forever grateful." As CEO of Lionsgate, one of my greatest joys is the uniqueness of my office setting. I literally work in a place that over 500 people call home. Friends share meals together. Dogs are leisurely walked across the grounds. Children stop in to visit with grandparents, and couples take a quiet moment to enjoy the sunset on a balcony. It's a truly wonderful place to live and a lovely atmosphere to work in. Leader, mentor, supporter, friend. Susan is woven into the very fibers of Lionsgate and senior housing, and into all the lives of everyone she touched along the way. Susan would have been an excellent CEO for any company, but we were so very lucky to have her at Lionsgate. May her memory be a blessing.
Thank you, Allison, Drew, Abby, Becca, Bert, Sylvia, and Ashley. place of deep hurt, you have brought a measure of healing to all of us. And I know that the bonds that you share will strengthen you in the challenging days ahead. Please rise now for memorial prayers. O God, exalted and full of compassion, we pray that you bring perfect peace under the wings of your sheltering presence to the beautiful soul of Susan Love, who has gone to her eternal home. Master of mercy, we beseech you, remember the countless acts of kindness she shared with so many as she graced this, the land of the living. May her soul thus be bound in the bond of life eternal. May she rest in peace. And together we say, Amen. You may be seated, please.
Now I'll ask if we can rise once more, please.
Yoshe Beseto, Yovitzel Shaddai Wonder, the world Adonai Masi Vitzulati Tomato, Yuyatzio Kamipake Kush Megarakabot, Gabataya Saklak Petaka Kanapek Teksta, Sina the Sokra Amito, Lotiram Pakabala Mikechi Upiomam, Gababofi Alok Miketan Shut Sarai, Ibomitzicha Ela, Purani Neka Eleka Legash. Rakbe Efetabi Bishwar Mishim Tirek, Ki Atarane Masi Ayon Santu Vanecha. Lotene Lekara, Venega
Who's it? You know, or who's it? Yeah, that I don't know.